Okay, I've got a couple updates, but first I want to cast this head so we can talk about it while it's curing, and then hopefully we can pull it out by the end of the video. So let me bring you over here. There it is. Okay, I've got part A and part B here. Gonna mix them together into this cup. It's a 50-50 or 1-to-1 ratio. So there we go. Only have about 5 minutes or so of working time. So mixing it up in this cup. I'm gonna mix it really well. Now this is the mold. I'll show you really quick while that's still setting. This, if you've been following the Instagram, let it focus. You can see the inside there, the negative, of the monkey head I'm making for the Phantom. Now, I'll show you the sculpt again as well. Luckily, it was not wrecked in the molding process. Just so I do have gloves on, and we are in a well-ventilated area. Fans going in the background there, so don't worry about that. Just about mixed up. Okay, I can feel it heating up already. Now I'll gently pour it into this mold. Hope I poured enough. Okay, and perfect. I have some extra here for these extra molds, just in case I made too much. Actually, let me pour a little bit more back in here. Perfect. Look at that. You'd think I planned it. All right. So now, while that is curing, let me bring it back over here. So a couple weeks ago, I did the sculpture of what the head of the monkey is going to be, and I decided to hold off on casting it. Because I wanted to have the rest of the body either finished or to point of being really close to being finished. And I'm about at that point. Now I was hesitant to show it to you guys at this point because the fur is untreated. So it's just the raw fur. I trimmed it a little bit, but the raw fur just looks very ratty and it doesn't look at all how it's going to look. But I'll show you anyways, okay? So let me bring it down here. And actually I haven't shown you a video of the box yet either. But this is where we are so far with the monkey box, okay? I'll come up closer for some details on the box. Got some nice designs on the side. Doesn't have feet yet. There is legs though. Show you the other side. I upholstered the top of it. Some nice fabric. Just a little bit of fur on there from when I was trimming it. But I'm pretty happy with how that's coming out. I'll show you the body too now, so far. Of course, he's headless. But there's arms and his legs. So there's kind of the profile of where he is so far. Now, these arms do move. They are, they just slide in like this as of now. The neck fur will cover that. And also the box for easy access. I don't have the hinge on it yet, but it's going to hinge open like this, so that they can reach inside, turn it on, reach to all the animatronics, which are not fully hooked up now. I can't hook it up again until the body's a little bit more along the ways, and it will be once this head is complete. So my next step, now that the project is at this state, I'm going to, of course, once we pull this head out, have to attach it right about there, and this will also be covered with fur, and it'll have to be painted. But the next process for me is designing the hands, okay? So this is where the box is. Let me put this to the side. How's this coming on? Still curing. We have here his symbols, okay? Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a sculpt of the hand that's directly attached to this, so this is all one piece, because you can see this. This peg here has, let that focus, has a little wing nut, so it comes right off. So I just have this raw symbol. So what I'm going to do is actually put the clay on this and sculpt the hand right on this, on the symbol, so I can make one mold of it. Now what I'm going to do is actually sculpt the hand so it's symmetrical. That way I can use it for both sides. Now, that works well for this project. If this was going to be a puppet that had like its own character, I wouldn't do it that way. I'd make sure the hands were unique and each one was symmetrical. But for this project, this is essentially a prop that would have been mass produced, or like a toy, in which case a lot of times when they're mass producing those types of objects, they make the hands or the feet symmetrical so they only have to have one mold. And that's exactly what I'm going to do on this. So let's see how we are over here. Once I pull this out, I'll let you do a side by side. Right now you can see it's turned completely white. It started off clear when I poured it, but it's completely white. It's really hot. So we'll get to open this in just a second. Now you may have saw pictures on Instagram of me making the mold for this, but the reason why I didn't make a video of it is because I was using a new silicone that I have never used before. It's not new by any means. It's Moldmax 30, but before that I was just using the Umu 30, which is really easy, 1-to-1, but this has a different 10-to-1 ratio, which again, that's not difficult, but I've just never done it with this material, and I'm so glad that I didn't, because I did make some little mistakes along the way that I was able to luckily fix, but I'll tell you about them now. So now when I go to cast the hands, I will make a new video of me doing that live. So, but what happened was, I didn't secure this head down to the bottom as well, and I think this silicone is a lot more dense than the other ones I've been using. So when after I poured it, I came back like a half hour later, and this head actually floated to the top, and he was peeking out just like from underwater. And I was very worried at that point. So luckily I just put a glove on, was able to push it down, and actually stuck a screw through the cardboard as like a peg to hold it down. And luckily it worked. It was slightly encapsulated into the center of it, but just like a quarter of an inch down. So I just used an X-Acto blade and cut it out, which actually, as far as pouring the mold, I like having that little ridge there. Makes it very clear where I have to stop pouring. So looks like it's ready enough for me to demold it. So let's see. I'll let you guys pop the seal here. Ready? Here we go. Let's see how it comes out. All right, let's pull it out. Oh, it's perfect. Perfect. Let's give it a side by side. Worked out perfectly. So now, of course, for those of you who aren't familiar with this is monster clay. This is softer. You would never want to use something like this for the actual prop. Now this is cast, this exact same mold, this shape, in the plastic. So now I could, if I wanted to, I could make as many of these heads as I needed, but now I at least have this one, so I can paint it, add the fur to it, and be able to make this monkey. So this is going to be attached right up here. Boom. And that's it for now, but I'll make sure I make another video for when I start making a mold of the hands. And you guys get to see that process. Alright, thanks.